In ancient times, the land around the Yulon was called KAVALAN, a mysterious land that was solely inhabited by the indigenous people of the KAVALAN clan. The name was officially recognized by the emperor of the Qing dynasty in the year 1809 when the original city was also built under the same name. KAVALAN had always been kept primitive and protected from the outside world by the Swincian mountain range, which is abundant in high quality natural water that comes from deep within the mountain range. The distillery says the mists of the KAVALAN and the spirits of the past have been created for you in this exquisite whiskey. Every whiskey has a story, and this is KAVALAN's story. Welcome back to Let's Talk Whiskey. Today I'm reviewing a Taiwanese whiskey called KAVALAN whiskey. This was made, distilled, and packaged in Taiwan itself and imported to all the countries all around the world. One thing I have to mention before I taste this whiskey is that one of the world-renowned whiskey expert, Dr. Jim Swan, said this particular whiskey is a perfect marriage between the spirit and the cask, and this kind of taste can only be achieved in the climate of Yulon. That is where the distillery is located, and let's go taste. Cheers. Generally, whenever somebody has a really nice package, good branding, and oversells it, you assume it is the good marketing strategy, but does not really reflect the quality of the product. But this is exactly what I thought it would be, if not better. One thing I have to mention is that here they just say KAVALAN whiskey, and most of the whiskeys that I review on the channel are either bourbons or the Scotch. Though doesn't fall into both the categories, considering Scotch has to be made in Scotland, bourbon has to be made in Kentucky. The ingredients that is used to make KAVALAN is malted barley, which is the same ingredient that you use to make Scotch. You can definitely get few notes of Scotch flavors in it, but there is always that tiny bit of difference, and most of the time that particular difference comes not just because of the way you make it, but it is because of the water that you use to make whiskey. One of the special things about KAVALAN whiskey is that the water source for this whiskey is coming from the mountain range surrounding KAVALAN and Yulon regions, where the ice melts from the mountain and the fresh water stream flows down from those mountains is used for this. And I think it's a great combination, unique taste, and very smooth on the neat. Since we do the neat, now I'm even more excited and curious about on the rocks, because if it is that smooth as neat, let's see how smooth it is on the rocks. Cheers. I am blown away by how smooth it is on the rocks. Even a non-whiskey drinker would probably enjoy drinking this because it tastes more like a ice cold water with a hint of Scotch flavor in it. No bitterness, no harshness, nothing. It lives up to the expectation for sure. One thing I have to mention is that the guy who founded the whiskey, that is Mr. T.T. Lee, before starting the whiskey, he toured Japan and Scotland to know and understand the nuances of whiskey making and how to make the whiskey taste the best possible way. He toured around the world, got all the knowledge, and his aim was very clear. He wanted to make a whiskey in Taiwan, Taiwan-based whiskey, and it has to be in world standard. That being said, We done the neat, fantastic, on the rocks. It's just ice cold water. Now the shot. This is, I wouldn't recommend good whiskeys to take it on the shot as much as I say, like, it is nice to take off the edge. But don't waste good whiskeys on the shot, but you will never know. Cheers. Goes in great, goes in great, goes in smooth, no burning sensation, no weird feeling. It's great even to take it as a shot. Well, that's my risky review for KAVALAN. Let us meet next week with some other interesting whiskeys. Until then, take care, drink responsibly. Let's talk whiskey.